Hello everybody and welcome to what will be my first commentary video. I had some issues with the previous video that was planned. I'll get it fixed for next week. I just didn't have time to get uploaded by this Thursday. And I've been wanting to do one of these for a while because I don't really share much about myself and I had some interesting stories to share. So I thought it'd be cool, and also Apex told me to, so that was also a deciding factor. But yeah, anyway, I'll just go put some Destiny gameplay in the background, and we'll be talking live. This isn't like voiced over or anything. So yeah. And we're starting in the middle of a strike. Okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share some stories about karate, because I did karate for like 6 years, and I really enjoyed it. Get you guys. Also, apologies. Like I said in the beginning, this is my first commentary video, so I'm still getting used to it, I guess. Screeb. Hate those things. Where are my notes? I'm not reading off a script, I just have notes to keep me on topic, okay? Otherwise, you're just gonna hear me ramble on about uhs and ums and screebs and lots of screebs and more screebs and invisible guys hiding behind a screeb. I knew it! Anyway. So yeah, I've taken two different styles of karate. The first one was a bit more of a showy kind of style for like demo teams and point sparring tournaments, stuff like that. And the other style was a bit more practical, saying, hey, if this guy comes and fights you on the street, there's nothing wrong with breaking his arm. So here's how to do it. Personally, I preferred the second style. However, there's nothing wrong with the first style if you want to go for more of a, you know, just demo teams, you want to do point starring tournaments, that you do you, there's nothing wrong with it. But me personally, I want the more practical side of it. I found it to be more enjoyable as well, not just like all seriousness and whatnot. What are you doing? You were here before me and I'm ahead of you. The first dojo I went to, I had a friend there. I was still pretty new. I was a white belt. He was a yellow belt, and I wasn't paying attention. If you didn't know, a yellow belt was pretty much one step above the white belt, so he'd been there about 3 months longer than I had. So not a huge skill gap, but he knew more than I was. Thank you, ally. I'm sorry for making fun of you earlier. We're doing back leg roundhouse kicks on a target. So it was one of those like shield targets that you hold off to the sides. Like I'd hold it and he would kick. And then after a while, we'd switch so that he'd hold it while I kicked. Well, anyway, we were just doing our thing. I'm holding the target, not too big of an issue. And then he missed, and I got kicked straight in the face. And you know what? I did not feel a thing, like at all. Like nothing's wrong with me. I can, ow, it hurts. I don't have like loss of nerves in that side of my face or anything, but I didn't feel it, and I still don't know why. But anyway, he's like super apologetic. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, B. Like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Okay." I'm just standing there with the target, like, "Yeah, kick it again. You're fine. Just keep going. You don't have to stop." He's like, "Are you okay? Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I had been told later by my dad, who was he was spectating the class because he had his karate class right after mine, because here we didn't have class at the same time. The next place we actually did take together. That was fun. But he said he was on the edge of his seat, but he was trying to make sure, like, see how I would handle it first, because I was at that age I should be able to handle things on my own. And so he was giving me a chance, which is great. But yeah, apparently it made a really loud sound and all the parents gasped, and the only reason the karate teacher didn't notice was because he was talking to another parent about, why am I being so bad today? Another parent about like doing some other classes or something like that. But yeah, it was just extremely loud, and I just sat there completely unfazed. And that's how I earned the nickname Iron Man. And for the next 3 years, whenever he referred to me, it was always as Iron Man, not my actual name. Or B, or whatever people call me. I get called a lot of names, but that's a video for, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you up there. My bad. Anyway, I get called a lot of names. That's a video for another day. This next one, this is probably my favorite story. I know for the sake of watch time, I should probably save it for the end. But I also don't feel like saving it for the end because it just flows better to put it right here. And that's what I have in my notes. I have Iron Man 2 got picked up, and so I'm going to tell the story of how I got picked up. And before you ask, no, it was not by a girl or anything. I don't have social skills, remember? I mean, a guy physically picked me up. So, what happened at this other studio. So I'd been taking karate for about four and a half, maybe 5 years now. So I knew what I was doing at this point. I was no like black belt or anything, but I knew what I was doing, all right? This other guy was a white belt. And if you've never taken karate, then something you should know is that when white belts come in, we are supposed to go easy on them in the sparring. We're not supposed to like be aggressive. We're supposed to let them figure stuff out because they don't know the proper etiquette. And because they don't know the proper etiquette, how do they not die? Because they don't know the proper etiquette, they will oftentimes be really aggressive and try to come forward. A lot of times they're scared, but because they're new. But this particular guy was definitely one of the more aggressive white belts that I'd seen. And so he's like, oh yeah, I'm scaring off all these like high belt guys. They're all scared of me. Little did he know we were going easy on him because he was new. And he eventually learned, but that is kind of part of the story is how he learned. Yeah, I kind of caused him to fear me a lot. How did I miss that? No, I don't want to miss that. Hit. There we go, that's better. I swear I better aim. I'm just really nervous. I'm probably talking faster. I need to talk slower. But enough talking about talking. How did you get over here, sir? We were doing a gauntlet of bear hugs and how to escape them. So a gauntlet is kind of like half the class lines up one side, half does the other side. One side does like the bear hugging, the other side does the technique. And as soon as you do the technique, you move to the next person, and then they bear hug you. But the people doing the bear hugs stayed put. And it was so that you could practice on different people, because people very much have like their set way of doing things. And if you always spar or practice with the same person, you won't actually get better because you'll just learn how they do it, not how everybody does it. So it's a really good like practicing technique. So anyway, we're doing this gauntlet. I was doing the technique. He was coming around doing the bear hug from behind. And he thought it would be funny because he was maybe like 40-ish. I was tall, but he was taller than me. And that is saying something. He was head taller than me, and I'm taller than everyone else I know. So he goes on, and he's like, oh, you know, it'd be funny if my little white belt self picked up this guy who's been doing it for 4 years because I've sparred him. He runs from me because I'm being nice. Get barrier champion, I don't want you here. So anyway, he comes around, he picks me up. And I draw the line at being picked up. I wasn't gonna go easy on him. We didn't have sparring gear or anything. But something you should know is that I'm all legs. And so if there's one thing I can do, it is kick. And so when I reached around and put my heel into the back of his hip bone, I guess is what you would call it. I mean, I really hit him in that thing. It probably didn't fracture, but it very well could have. I don't know. He kind of left before I realized. Anyway, so I dug it in there hard, and he dropped me like a sack of potatoes. He even gasped a little bit, like, ah. And so the teacher comes over, and he's like, wait, is everything all right? What happened? And I'm sitting there after he dropped me, and I'm just side-eyeing him, like kind of half turned around, like one of those dramatic action movie poses. Oh, I got seasonal challenge, nice. And he's like, oh yeah, I was being funny, and I picked him up, and you know, he flailed around and hit me in the back. He knew I was not just hitting him flat. Like that kick was placed purposefully, but I didn't correct him. I let him have it. But how am I so bad with these rocket shots, honestly? But from then on out, he sparred a less aggressive with me specifically. I don't know about everybody else. I can't speak for them. But he was a lot more careful around me. I think he actually realized, like, oh, hey, this guy, he knows what he's doing. He's no noob at this. And I admit, I know I shouldn't, but I admit, for the next 3 months, as he was complaining about not being able to sit properly because of that bruise, I smiled like every time he mentioned it. I know that's not a good thing, but at the same time, like, that kind of taught him a lesson. I'm happy about that. I need this ghost. Stupid hive ghost always doing what you're not supposed to do. I could do this a lot faster. It's just so weird talking while doing it. Like, I have no idea what's going on screen anymore. I'm just kind of going through the motions, which I guess is what I'm supposed to do while recording. Oh, really? I'm the last one standing? Guys, come on. Come on. You were like a 6 and a 7, weren't you? No, one of you was an 8. You're an 8. You're not supposed to die. You were the 7. You're not supposed to die either. Yeah. 7 should be skilled enough. So yeah, that was probably my favorite karate story. And I'm probably butchering half of these because I'm so nervous about talking, but whatever, right? I mean, you wouldn't think I'd be nervous because I've recorded so many times before, but I see you. But it's a different kind of recording, and I don't know, it just feels weird. I'm also recording in a different spot I'm not used to. I'm gonna hit this rocket this time. I hit it. See, I'm good at video games, guys. Also get weakened. No, I don't have my dodge. Oh, that worked. Finish off I need to look at my notes because I forgot what the next thing Are you kidding me? Again, you guys keep dying. And I had to rescue you every time. Yeah, you go rescue him this time. I don't know how you survived that. Alright, come here. Come here. I need to pay attention so I can look at my notes. Yeah, get out of here with your weird head. Little 5 rocket launcher. Okay, so I turned down the difficulty on this particular strike just so I could focus a bit more on talking and not like feel rushed. Oh, and it's a battleground. I take that back. It's gonna be even harder than the last one.
They know you're coming now.
At the second place, the more practical karate place, the one where the guy picked me up and I taught him what for. At that place, we got pretty good friends with Sensei, me and Dad, because we had the same class in that particular one. Why can't I talk while shooting? You think I'd learn how to talk while shooting by now? Wait, this is just escalation protocol.
Guardian, I need those cleared so I can tap into the network.
What are you doing here? Yeah, we got to be pretty good friends with him, and to the point where Dad and a couple other of us would prank Sensei.
Hang on, Jinju. We're in for some chop.
And as always, whenever we did so, we knew very well that he would get back at us by sparring lessons. Very intense sparring lessons. So depending on how bad I wanted to get my tail kicked would be whether or not I actually participated in the prank or not. But one of the first ones we did, I definitely participated in. So in the waiting room, when you're like stretching, waiting for the next class to finish so you can start, there are a bunch of pictures of people who have graduated, some of his family members, some of the like karate conferences that he's gone to. So we took googly eyes and put them on all the pictures and the bathroom signs and Bob. You don't know who Bob is, but the editor, future me, is going to put Bob on the screen with the googly eyes, so you know who Bob is. And it was hilarious, and the best part was that he didn't find the one on the women's bathroom for like 6 months. And even his wife knew it was there, but she thought he knew. And eventually when she realized he didn't, she kind of kept quiet about it and waited how long. The only way he found out was that eventually he started noticing people were like giggling every time they went through the women's bathroom. And so he walked over there and he realized, he's like, how long has that been there? And it was like 4, 5, maybe 6 months. I don't know. It was a long time before he caught that one. But the other one, this was the big prank we did. And the prank itself wasn't that intricate or anything. It's just his reaction was a bit more extreme, I guess is the right word. So, Dad put a princess car sticker on his Jeep. And he was very much a Jeep person, and if you know any Jeep person people, I was trying to make that a gag, but now it just sounds like I have a lisp.
We'll need to open up the campus again.
I don't want to open up the campus again, Elsie. What? There's no... Okay. So he put a princess sticker on the Jeep, and it stayed there for a couple days, and he was relatively mad about that one. And so for the next like month, we had very intense sparring practices. And the best part was that he didn't know who did it. So he had a suspicion, but he didn't know like which one of us was the one that actually did the deed. So his whole way to try and figure out was that he just beat our tails off until one of us confessed. Until it went on for a very long time and no one was confessing, even even me, even though I didn't do anything with it. I knew about it, but I didn't actually do it. We actually, I say we, and this wasn't part of my fault, but I also didn't stop it. We pinned it on another friend of ours in the studio who also had absolutely no idea what was going on. We just said, yeah, it was him. He eventually figured out it wasn't him, but it took like an entire sparring session of him getting beat up before he realized, wait, you're innocent. They pinned this on you. And the way he finally figured out it was Dad and one of our other friends who were there was that Kitty. Yep, Princess Kitty, my sister, got paid to tell him. He literally walked up to her and said, "You know, don't you?" She's like, "Maybe." He's like, "All right, will you tell me for $25? And she just agreed flat out, no hesitation. She's like, "Yeah, I'd still have everyone out for 25 bucks." And that's how he found out. And then we had a really intense sparring session that day.
Perimeter towers ahead are
We're back online and repeating U.S. hostile. Mind your steps. Oh. I did not mind my steps. I don't like battlegrounds. They shouldn't be in the strike rotator. Anyway. Thankfully, I will say, as long as I've known karate, I've never... I didn't touch it! I didn't touch it! I went under it! I have video evidence that I went under it.
Hang on, Jinju. We're in for some chop.
Wait, who's Jinzu? I don't know. But thankfully, I will say, I've never actually had to use my karate skills on anybody. I've been prepared to. I've like, analyzed a couple people and been like, yeah, I might need to keep an eye on them. But never, like, has anything actually gotten to the point. Except one time, I did put a kid in a chicken wing. And when I say kid, I was also a kid at the time, so it's legally allowed for it to have happened. I was only maybe 2 or 3 years older than him. And it wasn't like, he was one of those rambunctious, like, just graduated middle school kind of boys. And we were doing a car wash at the church. Can I go up this? Nope, this is why I don't do battlegrounds. Nope. I just hate battlegrounds. So we were doing a car wash, and I was using the pressure washer because Dad had taught me how, and I'd done a couple summer jobs where I had to use it before. I could use a pressure washer, all right? So I did the pressure washing, and he thought it would be funny. He came over and tried to take it from me without warning. And while a pressure washer isn't necessarily one of the most dangerous of tools, it's not one that needs to be played with regardless. And if you're an idiot or a rambunctious middle school boy that just maybe also high school, I don't know, where am I going? Why are battlegrounds like this? Am I going in here? I can't go in there. I'm so confused. I can't go nowhere, game.
Though I might have taken
There.
it too literally.
So anyway, he tried to take it from me a couple times. First he asked for it. I was like, no, you can't touch it. I don't trust you. And then one time he was like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to come up behind him and grab it. And I immediately just put him in a chicken wing, which if you don't know, if you take your arm and try to bend it behind you and touch the elbow of your other arm, that's the position I put his arm into. It is not a painful technique by any means. It can be, but I wasn't actually applying pressure. I didn't even finish putting the technique before he, like, let go. I didn't go the right way, but you know what? That was faster. And, it's a restraining technique. It's not meant to cause harm. I just didn't want him to grab the pressure washer. But he dropped it, like, as soon as he realized, oh, he just bent my arm in a way I don't want my arm bent. And he never bothered me again. And I don't just mean for that whole thing. I mean, like, I'd never heard from him again. I literally don't even remember his face. Teammates, the door's open. Come on. What are you doing? So
Hear what we
yeah,
can, Charlemagne Guardian.
I know I'm not the
Always
best
safe.
commentator. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. I will try to get... I need more practice, definitely. But if this isn't something that you guys are interested in, I won't bother to put in the time to practice. It could be interesting. I'll try to come up with some more stories, I guess. I'll go ahead and finish out this strike. But that's pretty much it for everything I had planned. I won't do the cringy outro. I won't say, oh, thanks everybody. Have a nice week. Like, maybe you want me to say that. I don't know. I'm going to say it anyway. But I'm going to wait. Because now if you leave, you're going to feel unfulfilled because you didn't hear me say bye. So, why do I always keep saying so? Can I just... See, now I can aim because I'm focusing on the game itself. I didn't need to do that. I just thought it looked cool. I like making trick shots with snipers for no reason, especially ones with snapshot, which is the aim down sight is really fast on this one because it has a snapshot roll. And if you're using snipers, you absolutely need snapshot, unless it's a PvE sniper. But my expertise when it comes to Destiny is using PvP weapons in PvE, making them work really well, all the while sucking at PvP really bad. So like Hawkmoon, the hand cannon I'm shooting with right now, favorite weapon in the game, it's garbage in PvE as for everyone else. But I'll sit here and just absolutely melt everything with it because I'm just really good with the weapon. Why did my orb go? Where orb? I was holding orb. You put a well down, but you didn't really need it. Like, look at this, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. Where'd he go? Need to get a headshot. Where'd he teleport off to? I had to prove my point. I have 5 paracausal charges. Where'd he go? There you are. Boom, 26,000. That was to the body. That actually wasn't the greatest. I've done way more damage. I've done over 100,000.
Subline fragment compiling. Never heard that
Chicken?
name either, but strongholds designations.
Subtitles are in the way, but there's a chicken. Yeah, there's a chicken.
Anti-extinction vaults.
He's a good chicken.
Promising.
Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Like I said before, let me know if you want to see more stuff like this. If so, I'm definitely gonna need more practice in it because I talk way too fast. And I probably need to prepare myself a bit more. But like I said, this is just kind of a rush thing because the last video was, eh. So yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Have a nice week. And, let me know if you'd like to see more of this or tell me how bad I was. Either way, I will improve.